Hello, my name is Rick Houston, and welcome to the Scene Vault Podcast, your source for all things NASCAR history. Presented by Las Vegas Motor Speedway, America's racing showplace. Driving the pace car. It's the very best job in all of motorsports, and it's one that I've been chasing for a very long time now. That's it, Elmo said as he paused from downing yet another bite-sized Snickers bar to pull out onto the racetrack. Harry ain't winning nothing today. Jeannie says she nudged me and asked why in the world I was so upset. Because that SOB won't let me drive the effing pace car. And Kip Childress, don't worry. Your job is safe. For now.
The day NASCAR and all of us associated in any way with NASCAR forget its past, that's the day we don't have any future.
Hey, Rick Houston here. Driving the pace car. It's the very best job in all of motorsports, and it's one that I've been chasing for a very long time now. Back in the fall of 1991, I was an aspiring motorsports journalist working my first full-time job in the sport as the editor of a small racing publication. Harry Gant was on the hottest of hot streaks as we headed to Martinsville. Could he possibly win his fourth Winston Cup race in a row? Not if you asked Elmo Langley. I was riding shotgun with Elmo, a longtime independent driver and team owner who had been driving the pace car for a couple of years at that point. It was late in the race, and Harry had just been involved in an accident between turns 3 and 4. That's it, Elmo said as he paused from downing yet another bite-sized Snickers bar to pull out onto the racetrack. Harry ain't winning nothing today. Harry, of course, came back and won that event to forever seal the nickname Mr. September. It was a momentous day for Harry and a revelation for me. The pace car. It's an important job with air conditioning to keep things cool in the summer and a heater in the winter. Hungry? Eat a bite. Thirsty? Take a sip of a refreshing beverage. Caution? Take a few laps around the racetrack. Now, let's fast forward to the spring of the year 2000. When I'm really tired, my wife Jeannie says that I have a tendency to sometimes talk in my sleep. One night, I woke her up cussing then Busch Series director John Darby. John Darby's an SOB. But I wasn't using the abbreviation. I said something that was close to dang it, John. Why not? Jeannie says she nudged me and asked why in the world I was so upset. Because that SOB won't let me drive the effing pace car. I don't remember anything about the exchange. I was asleep. But as soon as Jeannie told me about it the next morning, I could not wait to get to the racetrack the next weekend and tell John all about my dream. It became a running joke between the two of us. And believe it or not, Mike Helton even got in on the fun. When I accidentally got grease all over my jeans late in the season at Charlotte, Mike huffed and told me in no uncertain terms that I couldn't drive his pace car looking like that because I get it dirty. Imagine my shock when I was summoned to the Busch Series hauler hours before the season's final race at Homestead. John Darby brought me into his office, told me to shut the door, and then said, "Today's the day we're going to let you drive the pace car." And sure enough, there I was, on the starting grid, behind the wheel of the second pace car. Somebody set me up. Ron Hornaday brought his car alongside the pace car to the outside of turn 2, and my nemesis, Buckshot Jones, did the same to the inside of turns 3 and 4, with not the width of a wrench between the three of us. I showed them. I held my line, steady as a rock, and never flinched. I might have peed a little, but the steering wheel never moved. Next up, a decade or so later, Bowman Gray Stadium, the madhouse itself. For a couple of years, 2011 and 2012, whenever the regular pace car driver was actually on the track and racing, I got the call. And let's just say, I had myself a blast. Now, as for the Scene Vault podcast, from one of our earliest episodes, I've been aggravating the crap out of my co-host Steve Wade about the pace car. I talk about it, and he rolls his eyes. It's just another one of Rick's harebrained schemes. Over the years, many of our listeners have mentioned my dream gig. Davey Siegel had Kip Childress, the Cup pace car driver, on his Victory Lane podcast last year, and Davey mentioned me.
All right, let's get into some nitty-gritty stuff about driving the pace car, because I know fans love to hear this side of things. Are you familiar with Rick Houston?
Yes, I am.
Okay, so do you know that Rick Houston drove a pace car one time and he'll never let it go?
Yes, I don't. I was not around for that for the time that happened, but I'm very well familiar with it.
I was not either, but I listened to the Seamvault podcast and he brings it up all the time, and I always think of you, and I think he refers to you by name sometimes. So Rick, relax. Kip's doing a great job, but if he needs relief, I'm sure he'll call you.
And now I can tell you this. I am the pace truck driver at Lonesome Pine Motorsports Park in Coeburn, a small town tucked away in the mountains of southwest Virginia, where my mom was born. I made my debut this past Saturday, which just so happened to be the 30th anniversary of the plane crash that claimed the life of 1992 Winston Cup champion Alan Kulwicki and 3 others. Before the start of the first race, I was fortunate to lead the field in a backward victory lap in honor of Alan. And then, those sweet words.
Pace truck, go ahead and roll.
I'm going to be driving the pace truck at the Pine all season. So if you're into good old-fashioned stock car racing and want to check out an incredibly well-run program, come see us. You might even get to ride shotgun. And Kip Childress, don't worry. Your job is safe for now.